Maria was looking out the window. Her second husband had left, leaving behind only the echo of empty promises. Maria sat in the kitchen, slowly stirring the coffee that had long gone cold. The sound of keys in the lock of the apartment opposite brought her out of her reverie. She peeked out the door. It was Igor, the neighbor who often smiled at her in the hallway. "Hello, Maria. How are you feeling?" His voice was full of life. "Hi, Igor. Well, not so great, to be honest." Igor stepped into her apartment. "You know, I noticed your faucet is dripping. Maybe I can take a look," he offered, taking off his jacket. "Oh, that would be wonderful." While Igor tinkered with the tools, Maria watched him. His care was like balm to her wounded soul. "There, that should be much better," Igor said. "Thank you so much, Igor. I don't know what I would do without you." "Oh, it's nothing. Just little things," he waved off. "By the way, I heard your TV has been making strange noises." "Yes, it started doing that a couple of weeks ago. I even stopped turning it on. Let me take a look at it tomorrow. But for now, let's have some fresh coffee." Maria smiled wider. In recent months, she had forgotten how pleasant it was to simply chat with someone over a cup of hot drink. "You know, that's a great idea. Let me brew some right now." They sat and talked about everything under the sun. Igor recounted his adventures in search of a cozy apartment and how his current rented room resembled a warehouse without repairs. "How do you manage there?" Maria asked. "Well, I somehow exist, but it's not a home, just a place where I sleep." "Igor, if you're uncomfortable living there, maybe you could move in with me? It would be much cozier here for you." Igor fell silent for a moment. His eyes sparkled with surprise and gratitude. "Are you serious? That would be incredible." "I don't even know what to say." "Then don't say anything. Just say yes." "Yes, Maria, thank you." And so, a new neighbor entered her life, who soon became much more than just a neighbor. Igor warned Maria that his relatives from the village would come to visit for a while. When they overstayed their welcome, Maria first felt upset but then decided to be understanding. She tried to be a hospitable host, but as time passed, it became clear that they had no intention of leaving. From their conversations, she gathered they were making long-term plans and even intending to make some changes to the apartment to accommodate another relative. Maria eagerly awaited Igor's return from work. When he arrived, she quietly told him, "Igor, I need to talk to you seriously about your relatives." "Is something wrong?" Igor was surprised. "Your relatives have been staying with us for 3 months now. I tried to be a hospitable host, but my patience is running out. Today your Aunt Zenaida mentioned she wants to change the wallpaper in the living room because she doesn't like mine. And they're planning to stay here indefinitely." "Oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize they were overstaying their welcome." In the evening, Igor gathered his relatives in the kitchen. "Dear guests, you've been staying with us for quite some time now, and it seems you feel at home, but this apartment still belongs to Maria. So, I kindly ask you to refrain from any rearrangements or renovations without our permission. And I think it's time to consider returning home to the village." The relatives looked embarrassed and promised not to overstep boundaries anymore. However, it turned out their apology was just a cover-up. One day, returning from work, Maria found construction work at her doorstep. "What are you doing here?" Maria exclaimed, seeing a pile of construction materials in the corridor. "We're just doing a little work here. We decided to put up a partition," Igor's brother muttered timidly. "Why? Everything suits me just fine. And why did you turn my apartment into a construction site?" Igor tried to calm her down. "Maria, but they're family." "Family? Family doesn't turn someone else's life into a circus. The next morning, Igor and his relatives found their suitcases by the door. Maria stood leaning against the doorframe, with an expression on her face that spoke louder than any words. "You can't kick all of us out," Igor exclaimed indignantly. "But I already did," Maria said, ushering everyone out the door, leaving not only the brazen relatives, but also her past, behind the threshold.